Modern website features animated the elements that captivate, build, and even affect the behavior of users. In this lesson, you will learn to produce the animations with the CSS transmissions. The pseudo selector are element when creating the transition for the animation. Do you remember what do these two pseudo selector target? First is a active element when pressed element and hover under the cursor, and the animation produce visual effects of changes in HTML elements. An animation is produced when the visual changes happen over a period of time. The CSS transition are changed in element properties that happen over a period of time. They can be applied to a valid variety of properties and elements. Which property of the element change in the transition above? Width and height. This is for all transition requires. The transition require at least a property that will changes its initial value, its final and duration and the trigger. So here is a code. In there we written that in code the 100% is code. So it is a violated the 100%. We should uh, 200. So what's the happening there? I think just a second, it is increasing now. Said that element hash read the transition, like this code use the code to identify the values in the transition property. The property that changes color. Okay, changes that color. Initial value is red, final value is a yellow, and the duration is 3 seconds. Now the create a transition that changes the element's width over the 3 seconds when hovered. The element first of all, it is a width 20% in transition. We use width 3 seconds and hovered because element hovered 100%. You can change the multiple property as the ones in the transition. Make sure each set of instruction to change a property are separated by commas. So here is a code, a hash box and hash box active. So here is a multiple um, properties we are use when properties use the transition width 1 second, height 1 second, and background is 1 second. This is using the transition, and here is we use the activation. So here is all about in there. Then hash the multiple values, how to use width 3 second and color 2 second. Width is 100% and red color we are changing. So here is this transition changes, select the all um, correct answer. So transition is the width or color, so it is easily right. Then create a transition that changes the element's height in 3 seconds and font size in 2 seconds. Height is a 3 second. Okay. Font size is a 2 second. Then height is a 100% and font size is used to the 30px. Use the transition delay to add a waiting time before the transition element. The following example has a 2-second delay before the starting. So here is a code. HTML is a simple code. Here is a paragraph and div. Any element is there. Press in div and press the value. The element is to the multiple values here. Width 2 second, background 1 second, and transition delay is 2 seconds. So transition delay 1 2. This is the transition delay is 2 seconds. So that's why it is changing. Then add a delay of 3 seconds to the transition. The box width 50%, width 30%. So you need to transition delay 3 seconds. You can add the transition to the transformation. Let's warm up first. Complete the declaration to create a transformation that double the size of an element. So here is the scale of that. We use the transformation scale in double. Transformation is used to the transform. Then you can add the transition effect to transmissions. The button will scale when active. Here is a code. Simply here is a press and hold, and here is the button. Transform 1 second. Transition transfer 1 second, and transform scale is 1.3. So when I run, so here is a big scale means it is a bigger in 1 second. So here is a when I pressing 1 second it is a bigger. Okay, like that. Complete the declaration to change the element's height and apply the transformation both with a duration of 5 seconds. The transform 5 seconds in comma height 5 px transform comma 5 px sorry here is write down transform 5px and comma. Create a transition to rotate the hash card element by 35 degrees in 2 seconds when the hovered card. The transition, first of all, it is a transform. We use here rotate. So here is the first of all transform 2 seconds, and card is a hover and degree 2 seconds. So first of all rotate and 35 degree. And which of the following are required values for transition? First is the trigger, duration, and properties. I'll apply a transition to element to modify the border radius in 3 seconds when hovered. So first of all we write down the element and here we use the transition with 3 seconds, and element is a hover, so hover, and transition radius is a 6 hour, so long. The applied transition to a scale transform. So for transformation used to the transform, it should scale the 1.5 times when hover. So transform 30 second, and here is use hash element, and here is use over, here is use scale, and 1.5 scale. So it is completed. Let's take aways. Fantastic work. Let's take a moment to review what you have learned. Use the transition to create a visual effects that change from one property's value to another. The transition requires the properties starting value and final value, duration and trigger. You can apply transition effects to the transformation. In the next lesson, you will dive the even deeper into the animation. Lesson is completed. So continue.